Hi friends, welcome to all. In this video we are going to see this packet tracer activity, TCP and UDP communications. Before coming to this packet tracer activity, friends, if you are watching our channel first time or not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Also don't forget to enable that bell icon near to the subscribe button so that you will get the notification message whenever we upload a new video. Right, coming back to our packet tracer activity, here we can see the objectives of this packet tracer activity. In part 1 we will generate network traffic in simulation mode. Then in part 2 examine the functionality of the TCP and UDP protocols. Now we will come to part 1, generate network traffic in simulation mode. Step 1, generate traffic to populate address resolution protocol tables, that is ARP tables. Perform the following task to reduce the amount of network traffic viewed in the simulation. Click multi-server and click the desktop tab, then command prompt. Then we have to enter this ping command 192.168.1.255. This will take a few seconds as every device on the network responds to multi-server. And finally close the multi-server window. Okay, we will do this ping on this multi-server. We will go to multi-server and here we can see desktop, command prompt. Here we are going to give the command ping 192.168.1.255. And here we can see it works. Then we will close it. Now coming to step 2, generate web, that is HTTP traffic. Switch to simulation mode, click HTTP client and click the desktop tab, then web browser. In the URL field, enter 192.168.1.254 and click go. Envelopes, that is PDOs, will appear in the simulation window. Minimize but do not close the HTTP client configuration window. First of all, we will change the mode from real time to simulation. Here we can see simulation. We will click on it. Now we will go to our HTTP client. Here we can see. Go to desktop, web browser. Then here in the URL we will give 192.168.1.254. Then go. So here we can see the envelope on this HTTP client. Now coming to step 3, generate FTP traffic. Click FTP client and click the desktop tab, then command prompt. Enter the FTP 192.168.1.254 command. PDOs will appear in the simulation window. Then minimize but do not close the FTP client configuration window. Yes, now we are going to access FTP from this FTP client to this multi-server. Coming to FTP client, desktop, command prompt. Here we are going to give FTP space 192.168.1.254. So here we can see it's trying to connect. And here we can see the envelope. Now coming to step 4, generate DNS traffic. Click DNS client and click the desktop tab, then command prompt. Enter the nslookup multiserver.pt.ptu command. ABPD will appear in the simulation window. Minimize but do not close the DNS client configuration window. Okay. We will go to DNS client, desktop, command prompt. Here we will give the command nslookup multiserver.pt.ptu. So here we can see the PDO. Coming to the fifth step, generate email traffic. Click email client and click the desktop tab, then email tool. Click compose and enter the following information. To user@multiserver.pt.ptu. Subject, personalize the subject line. Email body, personalize the email. Then we have to click send. Minimize but do not close the email client configuration window. Now we will go to our email client. Coming to desktop and email. Here we can see email. Here we can see compose. We will copy this to okay, then subject we will copy this, then email body, okay, we'll copy this, now we have to click send. Now we will minimize this email client. So here we can see the PDO. Step 6, verify that the traffic is generated and routed for simulation. Every client computer should have PDOs listed in the simulation panel. So here we can see that. Go to event list and here we can see the details. Now we will come to part 2. Examine functionality of the TCP and UDP protocols. Step 1. Examine multiplexing as all of the traffic crosses the network. You will now use the capture or forward button and the back button in the simulation panel. Coming to A. Click capture or forward once. All of the PDOs are transferred to the switch. So we will close this simulation panel and we will click on capture or forward. So we can see all the PDOs are went to the switch. Next, click capture or forward again. Some of the PDOs disappear. What do you think happened to them? Okay, we will capture or forward again. And here we can see some of the PDOs disappeared. Maybe this switch stored those PDOs. Next is click capture or forward 6 times. All clients should have received a reply. Note that only one PDO can cross a wire in each direction at any given time. What is this called? It's nothing but multiplexing. Correct. So we will click capture or forward 6 times. Here we will do that. So we will see the event list. Then we will do the capture or forward 6 times. Right. Next is a variety of PDOs appears in the event list in the upper right pane of the simulation window. Why are they so many different colors? Okay, here we can see that in our simulation panel with different colors. These all actually different protocols. We can see this color all TCP, and here this color the brown DNS. Here we can see blue HTTP. Right. Next is click back 8 times. This should reset the simulation. Do not click reset simulation anytime during this activity. If you do, you will need to repeat the steps in part 1. Okay, so we have to click only go back, and here we are going to click this go back 8 times. We can do that. Here we can see our back button. Okay. Now we will come to step 2. Examine HTTP traffic as the clients communicate with the server. Filter the traffic that is currently displayed to display only HTTP and TCP PDUs. Filter the traffic that is currently displayed. For that we have to click edit filters and toggle the show all or none, then checkbox. Then we have to select HTTP and TCP only. Click anywhere outside of the edit filters box to hide it. The visible events should now display only HTTP and TCP PDUs. Okay, right, so we will go to event list and here we can see show all or none. We will click on it. Then coming to edit filters, here we will search for HTTP and TCP. Here we can see TCP and here we can see HTTP. Visible events only HTTP and TCP. Now click capture or forward. Hold your mouse above each PDU until you find one that originates from HTTP client. Click the PDU envelope to open it. So here we will click capture or forward. Okay, right. Now we will search for the PDU which is originated from the HTTP client. This is, yes, here we can see this is HTTP client. This is FTP client and this is email client. So here we can see that HTTP client. We will click on it. Now click the inbound PDU details tab and scroll down to the last section. What is the section labeled? Are these communications considered to be reliable? Okay, we will go to inbound PDU details. And here we can see the last field, it's a TCP. So it's obviously reliable. Now record the source port, destination port, sequence number and acknowledgement number values. What is written in the field to the left of the window field? So coming to our PDU information, here we can see the source port, it's 1029 and here we can see destination port, it's 80, sequence number 0, acknowledgement number 0, and here we can see window field. Left side of it, here we can see flags, reserved and offset. Next, close the PDU and click capture or forward until a PDU returns to the HTTP client with check mark. Okay, we can do that. So we will close this PDU information. We will click capture or forward. Yes, here we can see. Next is click the PDU envelope and select inbound PDU details. How are the port and sequence numbers different than before? We can verify that. We will click on this envelope and coming to inbound PDU details. Here we can see TCP. So here we can see now source port is 80, destination port is 1029. Then sequence number 0 and here we can see acknowledgement number it's now 1. Okay, next is there is a second PDU of a different color which HTTP client has prepared to send to multi-server. Yes, so here we can see that blue color. This is the beginning of the HTTP communication. Click this second PDU envelope and select outbound PDU details. So coming to this envelope, we'll click on outbound PDU details. What information is now listed in the TCP section? How are the port and sequence numbers different from the previous two PDUs? Okay, here we can see TCP Source port is 1029, destination port is 80, and here we can see now the sequence number is 1. So previously on both case it was 0. Then acknowledgement number, it's 1. And to click back until the simulation is reset. Okay, we can do that. Now we will come to step 3, examine FTP traffic as the clients communicate with the server. In the simulation panel, change edit filters to display only FTP and TCP. Coming to our event list, edit filters, we will give only TCP and FTP. Here we can see that. Visible events, FTP and TCP. Next is a click capture or forward. Hold your cursor above each PDU until you find one that originates from FTP client. Click that PDU envelope to open it. We can do that. We will click on capture or forward. And here we will search for the envelope which is originated from this FTP client. This is an email HTTP client. So here we can see FTP client. So we will click on this envelope. Next is click the inbound PDO details tab and scroll down to the last section. What is the section labeled? Are these communications considered to be reliable? Okay, we will go to inbound PDO details and coming to the last section. Here we can see the protocol, it's a TCP. So obviously here the communication is reliable. Next is record the source port, destination port, sequence number and acknowledgement number values. What is written in the field to the left of the window field. Okay, here we can see the details. Source port it's 1025, destination port 21, sequence number 0, acknowledgement number 0. Next, close the PDU and click capture or forward until a PDU returns to the FTP client with a check mark. Okay, we can do that. We will close this PDU information, then we will click on this capture or forward. And here we can see our envelope on FTP client. We will click on it. Now click the PDU envelope and select inbound PDU details. How are the port and sequence numbers different than before? We will go to the inbound PDU details and here we can see TCP. Here we can see source port is 21, destination port is 1025. So this source and destination port is just reversed with the previous one. And here we can see sequence number, it's 0 again. Acknowledgement number, oh, it's here, it shows 1. Previously we have seen it's 0. Now click the outbound PDU details tab. How are the port and sequence numbers differ from the previous two results? So we will go to outbound PDU details and here we can see TCP. Here we can see sequence number changed to 1 from 0 to 1. Next is close the PDU and click capture or forward until a second PDU returns to the FTP client. The PDU is a different color. Okay, we can verify that. Capture or forward. Yes, it's reached here and here we can see it's in different color. Now open the PDU and select inbound PDU details. Scroll down past the TCP section. What is the message from the server? Okay, we'll verify that. Then click back until the simulation is reset. We will click on this envelope. Coming to inbound PDU details. And here we can see a TCP section. Also here we can see FTP response. code is 220, and here we can see the message, welcome to PT FTP server. Okay, now we will close this PDO information and we will click back. Right. Now we will go to step 4, examine DNS traffic as the clients communicate with the server. In the simulation panel, change edit filters to display only DNS and UDP. Then click the PDO envelope to open it. Okay. We will go to our event list and here we will give edit filters. We'll uncheck this TCP and we will select UDP. Then we will select DNS. Where is our DNS? We will go to IPv4 and here we can see DNS. Here we can see event list filters. Visible events are DNS and UDP. And we will click on this DNS envelope. Click the Inbound PDO Details tab and scroll down to the last section. What is the section labeled? Are these communications considered to be reliable? Okay, so inbound PDO. Okay, here we can see only outbound PDO details. We will go to outbound PDO details and here we can see our UDP. We can see it's a UDP. That means it's unreliable. Next is record the source port, destination port values. Why is there no sequence and acknowledgement number? Here we can see source port is 1025 and destination port is 53. And here we cannot see any sequence or acknowledgement number because here the protocol used is UDP. It's an unreliable protocol. And this sequence number and acknowledgement number are used with the reliable transfer. Next is close the PDO and click capture or forward until a PDO returns to the DNS client with a check mark. We can do that. We will close this PDO information, then capture or forward. And here we can see our packet. Now click the PDO envelope and select inbound PDO details. How are the port and the sequence numbers different than before? Okay, we will go to inbound PDO details and here we can see UDP. Now this source port is 53 and destination port is 1025. It's just reversed. What is the last section of the PDO called? Okay, we can verify that. Here we can see it's a DNS answer. Okay. Click back until the simulation is reset. Now we will click back. Okay. Now we will go to step 5, examine email traffic as the clients communicate with the server. So in the simulation panel, change edit filters to display only POP3, SMTP and TCP. We can do that coming to our event list, edit filters. So we will remove this DNS and here we will give TCP, POP3 and SMTP. Next, click capture or forward. Hold your cursor above each PDO until you find one that originates from email client. Click that PDO envelope to open it. We will click on capture or forward and we will search for the email client PDO. Yes, here we can see that email client. You will click on it. Next, click the Inbound PDO Details tab and scroll down to the last section. What transport layer protocol does email traffic use? Are these communications considered to be reliable? Okay, we will go to inbound PDO details and coming to the last section. And here we can see it's a TCP, transport layer protocol. Okay, so it's obviously reliable. Now record the source port, destination port, sequence number and acknowledgement number values. So here we can see those values. Source port is 1025, destination port is 25, sequence number 0, acknowledgement number 0. Next is close the PDO and click capture or forward until a PDO returns to the email client with a check mark. Okay. Yes. Now click the PDO envelope and select inbound PDO details. How are the port and sequence numbers different than before? Okay, we can verify that. We will go to inbound PDO details and here we can see the details. TCP source port 25, destination port 1025, just reversed. Then here we can see sequence number 0 and here we can see acknowledge number. Now it's 1. Next is click the outbound PDO details tab. How are the port and sequence numbers different from previous two results? Coming to our outbound PDO details and here we can see TCP source port 1025, destination port 25, sequence number now it shows 1. Okay, previously on both cases it was 0. Then acknowledgement number 1. Next is there is a second PDO of a different color that HTTP client has prepared to send to multi-server. Yes, here we can see that in blue color. This is the beginning of the email communication. Click this second PDO envelope and select outbound PDO details. We will close this PDO information and we will go to this PDO, outbound PDO details. How are the port and sequence numbers different from the previous two PDOs? Okay, we can check that. Here we can see TCP port numbers and here we can see sequence number and acknowledgement number. It's 1. What email protocol is associated with the TCP port 25? It's obviously SMTP. And what protocol is associated with the TCP port 110? It's a POP3. Now click back until the simulation is reset. Okay. Yes, it's reset. Coming to the last step, examine the use of port numbers from the server. To see TCP active sessions, perform the following steps in a quick succession. Switch back to real-time mode, click multi-server and click the desktop tab, then go to command prompt. There we have to enter the Netstat command. Okay, what protocols are listed in the left column? We will do that. Okay, we will switch from simulation mode to real-time mode and we will go to our multi-server, desktop, command prompt. Here we are going to give Netstat. And here we can see the details. So we can see protocol, it's a TCP. And what port numbers are being used by the server and what states are the session in. So here we can see port number 21 used and here we can see the state it's established. We may also see the port number such as 80, 25, etc. Okay, next repeat the Netstat command several times until you see only one session still established. Yes, here it shows only that established. For which service is this connection still open? Here we can see the port number, it shows 21. It's FTP. Why doesn't this session close like the other three? Hinted. check the minimized clients. Yes, we can verify that. So we will go to this FTP client, and here we can see it's waiting for the username. Here, if you want to see the other protocols using this Netstat, we can repeat some steps. Suppose we will go to HTTP client and web browser. And here we will give our URL 192.168.1.254. Then we will give go. Then we will go to multi-server, command prompt, and here we will give our netstat command, and here we can see TCP, it's HTTP port. Here we can see it's closed. We will try with our DNS. We will go to DNS, we will press up arrow, press enter, and then we will go to multi-server and we will check it. Netstat, no, it's not showing. Even we will try with our email client. We'll send it. Yes, here we can see protocol 25 for SMTP, and here we can see the state, it's closed. Okay, right. So friends, in this video we have seen the packet tracer activity, TCP and UDP communications. Friends, if you have any doubt, any suggestions, please comment below, and just stay tuned. We will meet again with the next video.